Fan, short for fanatic, is the one who's screaming their lungs out in sub-0 degree temperatures, still believing when the chips are down, and never, ever giving up on their teams or their players. From the closest seat to the worst one, we want to meet you all. This is the American Fan.
What's going on, sports fans? It's your boy Josh Williams back again with another episode of the American Fan 365 podcast, coming from the beautiful Sticky Paws Studio here in Las Vegas, Nevada. The intro is really, it is good, man.
It's growing on you.
No. Trust me, I had to do that. I had to create those words, so it hit me about 6 months back. But I'm glad that it's starting to breathe a life, man. And
Absolutely.
thank you to you again for putting that together. Unfortunately, the front row will not be here today. She is getting a DMP, flu-like symptoms. Yes, no front row. There, she's usually right in this region right
Load
there.
management.
But we do have a very special guest today. He'll be strolling into the studio here in the next few minutes. Mr. Leonard Ellerbe, the CEO of Mayweather Promotions. Going to be talking to him about the upcoming Tank Davis Ryan Garcia fight, as well as just the state of boxing, and probably get into some other sports with him as well. George, my first question to you.
Yes.
Have you ever been to Foodie Fest, or I guess Foodie Land?
Yeah, I just went this past weekend.
Okay.
I did.
Okay.
All right, you have your little gripes about it?
Oh, brother.
Let's go in, dude. Let's go in.
Oh, brother.
You go. First
All
hit.
right. So, George, I've been working round the clock. I'm either here, I'm driving Uber and Lyft, I'm got my Airbnb, so I'm always doing something. And my girl has been a little upset. She's, not gonna lie, she's been a little upset.
Josh, where you been?
Spending
a lot of time at work,
yeah,
Josh.
Yeah. So she had been talking about this daggone Foodie Land for from about middle of the week, from about Wednesday, and I had been shutting it down. It was locked down. We were not going. And so yesterday, I hit her up, after church, and was like, all right, look, we can go, but I am exhausted. I went to the Red Hot Chili Peppers concert on Saturday.
Subtle flex.
I went to, I had to pay. Flex would have been like O-Day, and I got tickets, and I was
Backstage.
in the back. Yeah, that's a flex.
Okay.
Me, I paid like the rest of the ants. And so, yeah, so I'm like, I'm tired. I went out with Jenks on Saturday night, and I didn't end up back to the house until like 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning. Had to go to church, exhausted. I'm like, look, we can go to Foodie Land. I'm gonna take a nap. I get home. I'm about 10 minutes into the nap. She calls. I do not answer, but it woke me out of the nap. I could not go back to sleep. She calls again in like 25 minutes. I answer, and she's like, oh, I was just seeing how the nap went. I'm like, I never had the nap. Well, we can go now. I'm like,
oh.
So I'm steaming. I'm pissed. Not gonna lie. We drive in Vegas, and for those of you who don't know Vegas, Foodie Land was all the way out at the racetrack, which is like
Horrible location.
Jesus Christ, why do we ever go out here?
Horrible location.
That is the edge of reason. Drive the 30 minutes, get all the way out to Foodie Land. No place to park, of course. Free parking, though. That was a perk. Not going to lie. Get all the way out there, and it is not what I expected. George, what did you expect out of Foodie Land?
I 100% thought I was going to see a lot of food trucks, a lot of, shade, possibly.
Oh.
Maybe like a picnic type style. If you're going to have that much food, I would expect there be places to eat this food.
Yes. There's literally one mosh pit, and that's at the back. And it's like, bro, so I got to carry this food, which is going to be cold by the time I get over here. But go ahead. I'll let you continue.
No, I mean, it's freezing cold. You're eating food while you're waiting in line for other food.
Yes.
I went with a group of 4. So this is the second time I've been to. So I went to one that was all food trucks.
Okay.
That was at the Sam's Town parking lot.
Oh, okay,
So it was
okay.
Better location.
Yes.
A little closer.
Yes.
But it was the same situation where it's like, how much food is like enough food to order at these places because we went with a group of 4 this year. So we were ordering like one food item and sharing it amongst the 4 of us.
That's actually not a bad idea.
But Josh, I'm 240 pounds, okay? And I was with another 260-pound guy.
Okay.
All right? So
we can eat is what you're saying. We can eat.
Dude, we can eat. I want to, there was a mutual agreement that we would share these items. But come about like the 6th place, I was like, I don't want to share shit. I'm starving.
And these lines are crazy.
It's hyped up for no reason. The girls, they Instagram post stuff.
Yeah.
Just sucks them in. Your girlfriend was the one that enlightened you to it. I actually, my girlfriend knew about it, but it was her fat brother that was like, oh, this is a great idea.
Well, okay. So my main gripe was this, because I had never been, you hear about Foodie Fest all the time here in Vegas. And my thing was, I thought it was going to be like more sampling. Like, each of these trucks, because if you think, okay, there's 300 places. Oh, that would be great. If I could sample things. Not I get up there and it's $30 to eat one thing. And it's like, hold on, Chief. How many $30 you think I'm about to blow on food that I could have had at that crib? Like, this could have been Uber Eats to me. Like, no problem.
Dude.
That was my issue.
Dude. And when you start pricing it out, right? Because most of the time with Uber Eats, I'm always like, I click it.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh, the service fee. This sucks.
Yeah.
Like,
then they want to tip.
We're getting upcharged service feed right in front of our faces in some heat. And, the thing that I realized, like, halfway through, I'm like, this is 100% just for kids. Or this is like, if you're a family and you're bringing kids and you're like, this will burn them out. You know what I mean?
I did see that. It's a great thing to take your children to. It is not a cute date. It is not something that you want to do as a date or taking someone or, but I mean, yeah, like, bro, like if I'm going to spend $150, like we can have a real dinner. Like, do you understand what I'm saying? Like,
Yes.
why am I'm out here kicking dirt around in the middle of a racetrack? Like, we could actually, we could go to Giada's if this is what we were trying to do. I could have gotten nice and fresh and clean.
And we're positive people, Josh. We're we tried to see the best of it as long as we could, but there came a point where we were both like, what the fuck are we doing here? Or I just want to go home, but
yes.
And I spoke my opinion. I was that kind guy that was like, I think this is probably the last truck, right? Yeah, this is the last truck. Let's get out of here. It's hot.
Oh man. So, but yeah, that just crazy stuff. We can quickly jump into some other stuff before Leonard gets in here, just to give him a little bit more time. Championship Sunday, and today is obviously Championship Monday. You see, I've got my Georgetown Hoyas Allen Iverson jersey, which was supposed to get into the finals. Shout out to Sir Jenks, Daryl Jenkins, my guy, Parlay P. He had this jersey. He took it on a good run, and just like the Georgetown Hoyas of that day, they just couldn't finish in the end. We get real amped up, ready to go, and wasn't meant to be. But shout out to everyone in the Jersey Jam Challenge. The Jersey Jam Finals will take place tonight, so make sure you vote. It's going to be Charles Barkley in the purple 93-94 Phoenix Suns jersey versus Anthony Davis in the retro redo purple Lakers jersey that Jaden and her army, I called them Jaden's army. She has a crew of little girls that have been flooding votes, and I swear it is literally like watching the election. Like you're waiting for the final votes to come in. Like it's like 87% reporting. I'm like, I think she's gonna go down this time. And then in the 11th hour, 99%, here come all the votes every time.
Yep.
So, but it's actually 2 of my children, 2 kids that I've coached. So it's Genesis. John Vu was one of the first kids that I coached, and Jaden from New Breed was actually one of the last kids that I've coached. So that's pretty dope. I mean, having 2 of them square off, I love it.
I've picked the Phoenix Suns one every single time. So
you have.
It's a consolation prize if that one wins for me.
Okay.
I'm upset that out of all the purple jerseys that were entered, mine got bounced like Sweet 16.
Hey, listen, John Thompson, John Stockton in the short shorts, the boy shorts.
Dude.
You know, it's iconic, but it's a lot of man hair. Just saying.
Yeah. I guess
he's got a swath of leg hair.
Oh my God, Jesus. That is some friction down there. for sure. But yeah, I do love that Utah Jazz jersey. You know, mostly just because of all the championships that were won on it by the Bulls. So, but yes, Championship Sunday, LSU wins its first national championship. They take down the Iowa Hawkeyes, 102-85, and we have our special guest. I gotta stand up. Let's go. Everything's good. Leonard Ellerbe, the CEO of Mayweather Promotions, is in the building live. I text you after the initial press conference. You got the beard flowing. The beard. This is not a new beard. This beard has got some growth to it, brother.
Yeah. Switch it up. 2023.
Okay. All right. Had to switch it up. Switch it up. No more mustache.
No more. That's it. That's it. And it was all because of my daughter too.
Oh, okay. So, what did they say?
They were just we were had like a little break, and I hadn't shaved in probably like a week.
Okay.
It was like, Dad, you should let it go out.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah. So
give it a shot. Give it a shot. See, I can't grow the full beard. My joint don't connect. It gets a little thin. You and George come in, and I feel some type of way.
Right.
But
we got to figure it out.
I love it. Leonard is my guy. I coached his daughter, but and we've had him on other shows and brought him out, but had to bring him out for the just conversation on Tank Davis, Ryan Garcia, what your thoughts are, how excited are you, and and then kind of just get the landscape of boxing today.
Big fight, biggest fight actually in boxing.
Yes.
And we got two young undefeated champions who are in the prime of their career, and this is the fight the fans wanted. This fight has been talked about for the last couple of years. Ryan Garcia kind of started the dialogue. He's been wanting to fight Tank for quite some time now, and in less than 3 weeks we here.
He's getting what he asked for.
Gonna get exactly what he's asking for.
Now, first off, how tough was this to bring this fight to the masses? Because you said how it's kind of been out there for a little while, and just in terms of, I know how hard these fights are, especially in boxing now with all the different promotions and just different feelings, a lot of things that go on behind the scenes. How tough was this for you as a promoter to actually get to the finish line?
Well, it was definitely wasn't easy initially, but when the big fights are made when they make sense for all the parties that are involved. Again, Ryan and Tank have been very adamant from the very beginning that they wanted to fight each other.
Yeah.
So
that's the first part, right?
Yeah, that's the first.
That's the first part. If I don't want to fight you, I can run if that's what it is. So
yeah, and so both guys have been, and especially Ryan, he's been outwardly, vocal about fighting Tank because everybody knows Tank is that guy.
That's it.
He's the guy. He's the cash cow. He's the guy that everybody's gunning after because he represents the most revenue that they'll generate.
Sure.
So with that being said, it was just a matter of just, putting the right deal together, and here we are.
There it is. Now, what does Ryan Garcia bring to the table that maybe Tank hasn't seen so far in his previous fights?
Well, he has a different fan base. Let's start with that.
Okay.
He's Mexican American, and he's bringing his fan base with them. And both guys again are extremely popular. Tank for obvious reasons because, he's been out there doing his thing for quite some time.
Been stamped for a long time
and
as
he's giving the fans exactly what they've wanted, on a huge platform. But it always, and what people don't understand is you always have to have a dance partner when you're fighting on the big stage and have a huge platform. And Ryan Garcia brings a lot to the table. He's a guy that I think he has over 9 million followers on social media,
Yeah.
and he's done a very good job, him and his immediate team, with the self-promotion. You know, he has a number of different commercials out there. This weekend he was on WWE.
Yep.
So again, he's done everything to put himself in the right position to be seen and be heard, and that's what it's all about. He's figured out how to effectively, market himself, and when we're in this era, this social media era, that's huge.
Yeah,
It's huge.
1,000%.
But more importantly, he can fight his butt off.
Yeah.
He can fight his butt off.
He's not just a mouth. He has the ability to back it up.
No doubt, he can fight.
Now, what do you think? How do you think Tank will give him problems that he hasn't seen yet from his former fights?
Well, Tank is a different animal because he's never seen anything like Tank Davis. Tank Davis has the combination of speed, power. He has a great chin. He can do it all. He's a complete fighter, and come April 22nd, again, he's going to give the fans exactly what they want to see.
What do you want to see? What would you love to see? This going off script for me. What would you love to see in the fight? Obviously a Tank win, but what kind of fight would you love to see?
A Tank knockout.
Okay.
Yeah, do what he normally does.
Yeah.
On the biggest stage, against a huge opponent, and that's what it's all about, giving the fans exactly what they want to see.
Now, a Tank knockout in this type of a fight on this stage, because I would say this was probably his biggest fight, I would say. In terms of all the outside, with the opponent having that kind of a following, all that stuff. What do you think a knockout in that moment would do for Tank Davis?
It just continually elevates him to the next level. Again, he's going to be able to do it in front of a whole different fan base.
Yeah.
And that's what it's all about, elevating yourself. Facing the biggest challenges that are out there, and Ryan Garcia is kind of like the start of, they say that he's one of the best fighters in the division, and so okay, here we go.
Wow, that's dope. Now, what other fights on the card are you most excited to see?
Well, we haven't announced the rest of the card yet,
okay.
Which we'll be doing here very shortly. But it's a tremendous undercard, as always. That's what we take pride in. Giving the fans a bang for their buck.
Love it, absolutely love it. All right, we're gonna switch gears. I'm gonna ask you your Mount Rushmore of fighters all time, regardless of weight class. So Mount Rushmore is 4. I'll give you 5. I'm gonna give you 5 just because I know Floyd is already up there. So I'll give you 4 additional picks. You can say Floyd out loud, but I'll let you go from there.
Floyd Mayweather, Pernell Whitaker,
Sweet Pea. Okay.
Evander Holyfield.
Wow.
Sugar Ray Leonard, and Gervonta Davis.
Okay, all right. Now remember, this is Leonard Ellerbe's list. This doesn't have to be your list or the pundits' list. Giving some love. Shout out to Sweet Pea Whitaker. I love it. That was my guy back in the day.
Yeah, he was.
Absolutely loved him.
Man.
Yeah. And then now, honestly, I was like, if I ask El this, if he throws out Manny Pacquiao, I would that would go viral.
Yeah, well, Manny, I really respect him and his career. He's definitely in that top 10 list.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah. He's, a lot of guys, right?
I respect everything he's done for his country and his culture and all the fans that he's brought to the sport around the world.
Yeah.
He's done a phenomenal job, and he's also a great fighter.
That's it. Now, you spoke about Ryan Garcia and, kind of in today's market, learning how to market yourself, learning how to be effective on social media, because some people just, I'm a big name and people follow me because I'm a big name, but some people are literally effective in how they market themselves through social media. What do you think it takes in today's market to be a high-level prize fighter utilizing everything? What would you think?
Well, again, you have to find creative ways, with boxing being a niche sport. And it's not often that the fights that are on big platforms, unless you're fighting another well-known fighter.
Yeah.
Because again, I always say it takes you have to have a dance partner. But getting back to your question, I think that Ryan Garcia has done a phenomenal job, and he's kind of set the tone on like how to effectively do that, and obviously he has a great team behind him with being able to, take advantage of this era, this social media era of basically putting himself out there in a situation where he's seen and heard on a consistent basis, and also gaining fans along the way of his journey.
Yeah.
And he's mastered that. He's done a really good job with that.
Love it, love it. What's something that you would love to see in today's boxing? When we talk about the heyday or different eras, what's something that you would want to see to put boxing back in the forefront of people's minds?
Well, again, you'll hear the fans always say the best fighting the best, and I agree, with that. But in my opinion, I think that fighters need to continue to find ways to think outside the box.
Okay.
And we, meaning our team, we've done a very good job with really understanding what the marketplace looks like, and how to change with the times, because when Floyd was fighting, early on, there was no such thing as social media.
Yeah.
We had to, figure things out, and I couldn't even imagine if social media would have been around when he was really, really in the thick of what he was doing. Boy, it
could have been a whole different thing, right?
Yeah, on a whole nother level, generating revenue.
That's crazy. You really think about it. That is
yeah,
crazy.
No, it really is.
It's crazy.
It really, really is. So, he's one of the handful of guys in combat sports that have found a great way to effectively market themselves. Tank has done it with obviously doing his thing, and we've been doing our thing and coming together and giving the fans exactly what they want to see. Tank's not going to play around when he gets in there.
Yeah.
He's looking to, again, he's the most exciting fighter in the entire world anyway.
Yeah.
So he's giving the fans nothing but entertainment. And that's what the fans pay their hard-earned money for, to be entertained.
To be entertained, right?
Yeah, so he's not going to play around in there. He's not going to be in no jab contest and, all of that, even though he has tremendous skills and he can do it all. He can do it all. And that's what sets him apart from his peers. He has the ability to get you out of there with either hand at any given time,
That's dangerous.
And he doesn't get enough credit for his skill set. And he has tremendous skills, and he's been consistently showing that, and that's why he's one of the best fighters in the entire world today.
I love it. Now, before we get off boxing, how do you feel about the whole Logan Paul situation? How do you think that's helped the sport? How do you think that might have hurt the sport in some ways too?
I don't think it's hurt the sport at all. I mean, because it is what it is that, when you have a true understanding of actually, what it is that they're doing their thing from, Jake specifically, he's found a way to market himself.
Yep.
And he's learning, he's learning on the job. He's learning on the job because he hadn't boxed before.
Yeah.
And I think he's doing okay, and I'm not a hater. I congratulate people if they figure it out, and if he's found a way to generate, revenue, and not so having the boxing background.
Yeah.
And he's been able to tap into that, and more power to him.
Do
your thing.
Do pretty well in it too, right?
Do your thing.
Yeah.
Do your thing.
Now, do you think that it's been good that he's shined a little bit of light on what the situation is in MMA in terms of fighter pay and those things? Because I know a lot of some of my boxing friends, and they'll laugh at what these UFC fighters are being paid, and these are like high-level UFC fighters, and they're like, "That's what you guys are getting paid?" Because I didn't like because Nate Robinson's my guy. So when he knocked out Nate on that Mike Tyson card, I was like, screw Jake Paul. But when he started fighting the UFC guys and he started to show, kind of pull the curtain back on that situation, I was like, I respect this young brother. And, so how do you feel about that?
I really don't have a feeling on it because I try to stay in my lane as it relates because, a lot of times people don't have all the information and they speculate, on this. So I just, I don't have a problem with anybody, what they're doing and how they run their business because it don't have nothing to do with me.
It doesn't pay my bills.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with me. Dana's a friend of mine, and hey, he run his business how he run his business. We run our business how we run our business. He's not in our way, so it's like, I can't really comment on something that I'm not knowledgeable about,
I tried to bring L out one time, but he's a smart man. I'm not. I'll go ahead and proceed. Now it's getting close to playoff time, L, in the NBA. Who do you think wins the NBA Finals this year?
I kind of like the Lakers. I like what they have been able to do in the last month or so, where they're kind of coming together as a team and gelling and figuring it out, and they're gelling at the right time. They're gelling at the right time. Yeah.
I mean, listen, the Lakers are going to be a tough out for anybody. It's not. This is what we all thought they could be. Now, how they put it together consistently, I wouldn't say they have, but they're doing it at the right moment. And they're going to be a hard out for whoever they play, for certain. Now, I know you're a starving Redskins fan like myself.
Right.
Who do you want to see as the new owner of the Washington franchise? I'll say that.
I just read something recently where it was it Magic Johnson?
So Magic is joining up with the Josh Harris group. Josh Harris owns the Sixers. He owns the New Jersey Devils. So he'd be trying to build a little corridor of teams all on the Northeast if he picked up the Redskins or the Commanders. But he's got trying to think, he has some other people in that group. RG3 is talking about possibly joining in on that group as well.
Okay.
But then, there's Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos has Jay-Z. Kevin Durant is said to be a part of that group, as well as Matthew McConaughey. Both of them are huge Redskins fans. And then it's Jeff Bezos. So, that's who's I would
like to see Magic Johnson.
Really?
Him and his team. Yeah, I really would.
Okay, all right. Now I've been a proponent of Jeff Bezos, but I it's good to hear someone else say the other side because no one else is like, oh, Bezos, sure. But I mean, my main reason for Bezos, obviously, him being one of the richest people in the world, but bringing Mecca back to DC, building at RFK, building a dome, we start getting Final Fours, we get Super Bowls, in DC. I think that having someone with that kind of bandwidth, as well as he owns the Washington Post, so he already has the lay of the land in terms of from a political standpoint. I think him coming on, that would be a big deal if we were able to get him as the owner.
Yeah, no. Again, that would be great.
Yeah. Now, what do you think that owner should do to help bring the glory days back?
Well, it's going to take a lot because, again, the franchise itself has been kind of, it's been going through a lot. a lot. And to bring back those glory days of, this one thing about the DC area is that the fans are those are real fans. Those are real fans, and they're diehard fans.
Yeah.
And they haven't had a lot to cheer about for many, many, many years now. So you like to see those winning ways being brought back to the area, so people can, once again be proud fans again.
Yeah. Now see, look, you guys didn't even know this man was a Redskins fan. And that's how bad we've been because L is supposed to be on the 50-yard line. Leonard Ellerbe's in the house. That's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah, it's been rough. It's been rough.
It's been a rough ride. Now, before I get you out of here, what do you think? What are your thoughts on the name change from Redskins to Commanders? And do you think they should change it if we get a new owner now? It's this name's only a year old. Do you think there's still time to possibly change it to another name?
Yeah, there's time, and I guess that depends upon the ownership group and which direction they. But I'd be open to anything, just as long as they start winning.
Yeah. I think winning is the elixir that'll cure all. So, Yep. Well, El, I appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much for coming in. I know you got all your stuff going on right now, and so just taking time. I put my bid in to get in the house, so I hope that this helps that bid. But if not, I wish you success on this card and just continued success. Also, before you leave, how's Zayla doing? How's her journey going in basketball? Because she's going into what, 8th grade? This will be next year?
Ninth.
She'll be in high school next year.
She's going to be in the 9th grade.
Okay, so it's real now. What do you see? Because I can tell you what I see, and we've had our conversation since she was in 5th grade. So
yeah, I'm very proud of her. This weekend, actually, she had a tournament here in Vegas, and I actually meant to forgot to mention. I would have forgot to. It was over at the basketball center.
Okay,
and,
okay.
Yeah, she's starting her journey is on the 15. 15
15U now.
EYBL team,
Okay.
and she's playing for Cal Storm.
Yeah.
She's the starting 2 guard, and she's the leader of the team, and they have a phenomenal coach in George. And then I'm just really excited about her journey because she's put in the work, and she's got accepted to Sierra Canyon.
Shut up.
Yeah, she got accepted to Sierra Canyon.
She's gonna go to Sierra Canyon.
Yes, and I'm so proud of her and her journey and the hard work that she's put in. She's really been focused, and she's a great listener, and she has a tremendous work ethic. She takes that, after her dad and
her mom. Yeah, her mom.
Mom too.
Yep.
And so again, I'm just really excited about her future ahead. Sierra Canyon allows her to be in an environment with other kids who are, working hard, and I love the direction of their academics, because that's very important, and it aligns her with the next phase of her life, post high school. You'll have these relationships for a lifetime, and I'm just really excited about her journey.
I absolutely love it. I did not know that, so I'm so excited for her. Please give her a hug for me.
Almost definitely.
Tell her I love her and I miss her to death.
Most definitely.
And let me know the next time she has a tournament.
Most definitely.
I'll definitely be out there.
Yeah, most definitely.
All right, bro. Well, this is Leonard Ellerbe. Him up before he gets out of here, but this is Leonard, and we'll get a picture as well.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Most definitely.
Oh no, we. George he's wearing about 37 hats at once right now. Oh wait, L's in the shot. It's okay. It's good. I'll just talk. It's okay. But exciting stuff coming to the studio, as well as just Vegas at large. So just excited to see what is in store for everything. So, All right.
Definitely.
All right, El. I'll see you later, bro. I'll text it to you as well. I'll text you and tag you and stuff as well. All right. Pictures. Yes, sir. You already know. Leonard Ellerbe live in the house. You know what I'm saying? You just never know who's going to stroll through that door. We're going to keep building this thing, brick by brick. George Will Smith had a great quote when he was this is pre-slap. This is before he was doing his book tour, and he was talking about a passage, and I'll give it to you quickly. I'm gonna paraphrase it because I didn't buy the book. I need to go buy it now. It's probably cheaper now, but he was talking about one summer, I think he was like 8 or 9, and his dad had him and his brother like rebuild a brick wall in their basement. And his brother was younger than him. So if he's 8 or 9, his brother was like 6 or 7. And he hated it and like didn't understand. It was like every day during his summer vacation. This is his summer vacation as a child. He like hated having to build this wall. And his dad got mad one day and he was like, stop focusing on the wall. Lay one perfect brick at a time. And if you perfect that, you'll look back and the wall will be done. But if you keep thinking this whole thing, I got to build this whole thing all at once, you're going to frustrate yourself. Mm-hmm. But if you start by just laying that one perfect brick and then you build from there, the wall will get done.
No, man. So. That's a shout out to Will Smith for that quote. I mean, every coach uses that, right? Early in the season.
Okay, that's pretty good.
I feel like, well, at least a lot of the coaches that I had, Tony Sanchez was my coach at UNLV. So he was just a big
George,
foundation.
you played college football?
Yeah.
Fool, I didn't know that.
I was okay. So here's why I don't say I play college football. Because
All right.
I had a sip of coffee. Okay. I was a preferred walk-on at UNLV.
Yeah.
Tore my ACL during the middle of the first season.
Yeah.
And I was like, I saw the path that was in front of me, right? So this is a prime example of I was looking at it as a wall and not like brick by brick. But I made the decision. I was like, you know what? I'm done. I'm not playing. Graduated in 3 years.
Yeah.
So I became a teacher and started making money. By the time I would have been playing playing third year. Yeah. And I was making $36,000 a year. I was like, I think I made the right choice.
We'll start and keep building from there. No,
right?
that's terrific. We jumped off of Championship Monday. LSU won the national championship over Iowa, 102-85. Had some controversial calls that had come out of that game. A lot of, fouls one way, not a foul this way. As a coach, I can say that is extremely frustrating because you physically just don't know what is what. You do feel as if, the game is rigged against you because, listen, if we're in the, I always talk to officials about the foul disparity. If it's 12-2, you're telling me that when we drive, we can get crucified, but when they drive and get touched, they're going to the line. That stuff adds up. It takes an edge away from your team. I can get all that. Roe had sent me, because I was, like I said, I've been busy, so I was out driving. I didn't catch any of the game. And Roe had sent me, I guess, the clip of Angel Reese, showing her ring, get my ring ready and doing the John Cena, you can't see me, and all of that. And she was really upset. I will say this is today's female athlete.
Yes.
And I love it.
Yes.
And I'll tell you why I love it. Okay. The reason why I love it is, one, because I coach these children. These are the type of girls that I have now. And the ladies, you look at their music. When you look at, female rappers, I would say female rappers lyrically have a lot more to talk about than male rappers right now.
Yep.
They have a wider range. So, this is a very in-your-face generation of female, I think. And I think that that's only, bled over into athletics as well. And I love to see it. I love the women kind of, even if it does come off as brash or ignorant, as long as you can back it up, I'm all for it.
Here's the thing. Every great sports story starts with a villain. Okay? Yes. And that's what I appreciate the most is she's not afraid to be the villain. And in a lot of women's sports, and I hope this is the breed of female athlete where it's just like a confidence in their ability. And I think the thing that men are really able to do a lot better than women is compartmentalize, right? Men are more confident in shit talking because, I don't know,
I'll fight if it comes down to it.
Right. But in women's, but at the end of the day, it never even comes down to a fight. You know what I mean? Yeah. Guys understand that we're just going to talk our shit and there's going to be villains that come from that. In women's sport, you really don't see it as often as.
That's fair.
Here's the thing.
That's fair.
Here's the thing. this was the most watched women's college basketball final I feel in a while, right? I feel like the last time I really cared about a women's final was probably Gino's last hoorah, like last run where you're like, okay, is he going to get it done?
Yeah.
Other than that, I can't really remember a time where I was like, I knew about this game. Like I was up. I was like, oh,
you were kind of prepared.
This is
you
happening.
Knew what was going on.
You know?
I got you. I love that it's on Sunday now because remember it used to be after the Final Four.
Right?
Yeah, it used to be on Tuesday. And so the fact that they've switched that up and given the ladies their moment and the ladies are first, the ladies are on a Sunday, they get a prime time, you know what I mean, a moment to themselves. Because we're already kind of, by the time, you know, when it was Championship Monday, it's like, oh, it's Championship Tuesday. And you kind of are over it. Yeah. So I like that they're actually starting to give them this moment. I actually like that both of these Final Fours were in the state of Texas. I did not realize that. One's in Dallas, one's in Houston. So I thought that was pretty cool as well. You know what I mean? Just kind of both being in the same area generally. But I love it. Angel Reese did have something else to say. She actually had some positive words for Caitlin Clark because that was who she was taunting. So here's what she had to say in the post game yesterday.
I played her in my Nike Nationals for a championship. So being able to play against her, I know what she brings to the table for sure. But you got to realize, we have Alexis Morris. She's a first rounder. Put some respect on Alexis Morris' name. You have to realize Caitlin Clark is an amazing player. She gets way more shots than a lot of us. So just being able to be in a situation like that, I mean, you give credit to when credit is due, but we also have great players just like her.
Well, as speaking as someone who enjoys the sport, hopefully we get to see you two square off a lot more.
Yeah, for sure. I think that I'm sure the viewers went out of that was sky high tonight. I'm sure y'all
to
seen
George's
a lot,
point.
So I'm happy for us, and I'm happy for LSU that we can put a lot of things on the map. Right now on Caitlin Clark.
There it is. So you know, and she talked about Alexis Morris. Alexis Morris had like 20 and 5 and 6. Like she had a good game. But I love it. You know, love the feistiness. She's talked about them all being in the WNBA and kind of continuing the rivalry. And I think that's the kind of stuff that's going to continue to help the WNBA players coming in with established rivalries. So
100%.
So we'll see.
Little bird magic.
Yeah,
action there.
1,000%. 1,000%. The men's championship, they square off tonight. San Diego State versus UConn. San Diego State came through with a game-winning bucket. Like, I mean, it looked like he fumbled the ball about 5 times, got it off, cash. And while UConn was able to suffocate the Miami defense and the Miami Hurricanes and get to their final, who wins tonight, George? Give me your thoughts.
So, I got crushed by San Diego State. Pretty much this entire tournament, I've been in the mindset of, oh, the Mountain West ain't shit. And it's made me eat my words. But I think they've met their match tonight. I think this UConn team is, here's the thing, they may not have been the best team in college basketball this season, but goddamn are they the best team right now. And that's all that matters.
Yeah.
They're firing at a 1,000% efficiency. And I saw Drake place 2 bets, and I'm going to place the same 2 bets. He picked UConn to win between 6 and 11 points, and UConn to win by 11 or more.
Huh.
And you're going to get good value there. I'm pretty sure you'll probably get 3-1 on the 6 to 11, and you'll probably get like 7-1 on them to win by 11 or more. But whew,
that's interesting.
I'm with them. I got absolutely wrecked at Foodie Fest as I was watching in line, Josh. Hulu Live. I'm watching the game, and I'm like, Cameron, this is way closer than I wanted to be.
Yeah.
And god awful possession by FAU. Now here's my rule of thumb as a basketball coach, and you can give me your opinion. It was imperative that we're not settling for a jump shot when we're up by 1 and the game's on the line, and we can it's a timeout if we get a foul call. I just want the attack to be at the rim.
Yeah.
And they settled for a fadeaway, like a little fadeaway post hook. How did you feel about that watching it? Did you know at that moment? Because I felt like as soon as I saw that shot choice, I was like, well, this is it. This is how these games end.
I mean, you're up. So as a coach, even in a bad shot, you're still like, well, we got to lock down, because I always teach my kids beginning of the season, defense is how we win. And if the game is, we only get one free throw and we play great defense, the game ends 1-0, we still win. So in the moment, as a coach, you're still like, we're up. Now, if they were tied, totally different feeling.
100%.
Because then it's like anything can happen. They get a foul,
Correct.
They go to the line, you know what I mean? So being up, granted, you would love to be up 3 or possibly 4 in that situation, but I'm with you. You definitely, I think it's tough because the refs tend to swallow the whistle in those moments.
Correct.
So attacking the basket may or may not behoove you, because if you go to the basket hard and you don't get the call, now they're going 5-on-4 or worse, back the other direction.
Correct.
It can be a little dicey. I look for a quality possession, quality chance. So if that shot was quality, yes.
Okay. Yeah.
That shot was iffy quality. So
Yeah, I mean, it's like if it was Miami I was watching play, I'm like, quality shot, right? I'm like, dude,
touche.
Some of those brothers can play, right?
Touche.
But I was watching, I was like, man, and okay, their FAU's not built for that. But then, yeah, to your point, it's like, even like, I guess as a offensive coordinator in that possession, you got to be thinking we got to set up for a transition, fast break defense. You know what I mean? Like, and it's not like they weren't set. But here's another coaching point that I wanted to ask you: how do you not throw 2, or how in your game schema of defense, if a dude dribbles into the corner, are you not double teaming him that late? Okay, you're protecting the paint, but he's giving you an out. He's going to the corner.
I say yes, but see, in that situation, that's medium break. It's scramble drill.
True.
So you're not like, unless we drilled that.
True.
I don't want you going rogue.
Yeah.
Because if you get it wrong,
then it's a
butt naked layup for the dub.
Yeah.
So you play it honest.
True.
But I understand your position 1,000%. If we drilled that, yes.
Bro.
If that's something we've done during the year,
true.
yes.
I was like, as soon as he dribbled into the corner, I was like, hope, right? It was like my emotions were like, horrible shot, it's over.
Yeah.
He dribbled into the corner. Yes.
He fumbled, got free, and I was like, he got time. Man, oh man. All right, switching gears over to the UFC. George, the UFC is merging with the WWE universe to create a fight conglomerate worth $21.4 billion. And my Endeavor stock looks lovely right now.
Oh, you got a little bit of...
Oh, I got Endeavor. I got that. The moment they were like, UFC going public, I was like, that's a good stock to get. I got it as an IPO. I've had it for a long time. So that stock is doing good. And I'll probably wait until like maybe June or something, and then I will dump that.
Yep.
That'll probably get dumped. So that's actually not bad. That actually could loosen the belt a little bit, as they'd say. UFC 287 is this weekend. Pereira versus Adesanya. George, there's a lot of exciting fights on this card. Which fight are you most excited to see?
You put me on the spot there. Why don't you tell me, Josh, what your most exciting fight is? And there's so many to choose from here.
Obviously, this is a rematch. This is a rematch title fight. I'm excited to see that. I'm excited to see Adesanya potentially get his belt back, because he was winning that fight, even though Pereira ended up winning, but also had his moments. If Adesanya... Now, granted, this is a very quick turnaround to this fight to have a rematch. And as we just saw with Usman and daggone, who did he fight? Leon Edwards. As we just saw in that fight, Adesanya's gonna have to fight. He's not the champ no more. He can't just kind of rest on his laurels of, I can just do enough to win. I'm the champ. You got to beat me. Yeah. Now he's the hunter again.
He said it was his toughest fight camp that he's ever been in. They all.
That's not necessarily the best thing.
True.
But okay. But who else are you excited to see? On
So
the card?
I'm a big Jorge Masvidal fan. After we kind of look alike. With the beard.
bit.
If I had braids, which one day I will. Right?
No, we're not wishing that, George. You missed your moment. The moment was missed when you had a helmet. That was when you should have been rocking that.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Okay.
You missed it.
But okay, so there's a fighter on the first. He's the first fight of the main card. Raul Rosas Jr.
Yes.
Versus Christian Rodriguez. So I got a chance to meet Raul before anybody knew that he was going to have this, rise to success. So Fitness Junkies, shout out to Fitness Junkies. Gio was like, hey, let's get this kid meal preps from the meal prep company that we were advertising at the time.
Yeah.
They were no longer advertising, so no free press. But we gave him the meal preps, and this was before his Contender Series fight. And I mean, there was, as I was making the content for that, like filming us, giving him the meals, him talking very wholesomely about like how it really did help him. Like,
oh, nice.
Before people make it into the UFC and they have the PI to feed him every meal, it's very tough to like have a balanced diet.
Yeah.
I mean, this kid was 17 years old.
Yeah,
right?
he's 18 now.
Now he's 18. But when it's crazy how fast he's moved up in the ranks because he went from Contender Series and the last 2 fights he's had, okay, he has done his style of grappling I've never seen. And I know I haven't watched a crazy amount of MMA.
Yeah.
But even from people that have watched a crazy amount of MMA, they're like, this kid takes risks because he just likes to mount people like he's wearing them as a backpack.
Yeah.
Like he is the backpack. And I've seen him in all 3 of his fights go into that backpack position for like 4 minutes in a round. And then as soon as he can take you down and get to your back again, he does the same thing. And people just have to wear his 135 pound, 140 pound frame that entire fight. And he gets subs like crazy. So look for Raul Rosas submission props. If he's going to win by anything, he's going to win by sub. He is the favorite.
Interesting.
But Ode and Bobby on Fight Junkies earlier were talking about like Christian Rodriguez is that dude. Like, Raul's kind of fought some, I don't know, nobody's a lollipop fight. But
No. But he's fought guys that are still finding their way or figuring it out or on their way down.
Yep.
So I mean, like, and that's just the fight game. We're kind of seeing that now with Petr Yan. You know what I mean? Like he was champ, then he lost it, and then he's lost 3 more after that. So it kind of sometimes it just happens.
Yeah, and I'm pretty interested to see what that kid's got going. See if Jorge Masvidal can pull out another flying knee. After you get a flying knee knockout, Josh, would you just try one of those every fight for the rest of your career?
No. And the reason I say no is because just like Joaquin Buckley had probably one of the greatest knockouts of all time, you haven't seen it's situational. Now and remember too, that was also the way that I'm blanking on the child's name now. How he kind of started fights was kind of charging in and all that kind of stuff.
Ben Askren.
Yeah. Ben Askren, thank you. And so, Masvidal was like, well, if he does that, I'm gonna do this. And so we'll see. But I'm also excited to see Kevin Holland back in the octagon versus Santiago Ponzinibbio, and then as you said, Raul Rosas. But our friend Chris Curtis versus Kelvin Gastelum, that's going to be a good fight. Definitely a really good gauger for Chris Curtis as well to see where he is. But Michael Chiesa is also it was looking like he was fighting the Leech. But then my guy Joaquin Buckley had to get me with an April Fool's joke, and he's got it on tape. So if Buck ever releases this footage, I will be pissed. But also I love him. But he caught me because he was saying he was stepping in. Leach backed out. He got injured, so now I'm stepping in. He's called. I called him because I put it on the page. So I call him. I'm like, oh, Buck, congratulations. Miami, that's gonna be a big stage. Whatever. And so he's like really just stringing me along. Like, yeah, I got to cut all this weight. He's like, because he's gone down in weight class. He's gone down. That's kind of been the fight with the UFC. And he's like, you know, you think I can make this weight? And I was like, man, he's like, yeah, you know, it's next week. I was like, yeah, that's the 8th. He's like, yeah, so this weight, man, I don't know. He's like, you think I can do it? I'm like, yeah, you're buck. You got this. He's like, yeah, but I mean, what's today? And so the second he said, what's today, my like whole emotions dropped and I was like, oh, nigga, you got me. and so his girl just starts laughing. So it was cool. But shout out to my man Joaquin Buckley. You know, we definitely want to see him in a fight in the octagon soon and very soon. So even though he got me with April Fools, you know, that's still my guy. He comes to the house. We share moments. So no homo. Moving on, let's get out of here, George, with a little bit of NBA. Who is the bigger playoff threat? I actually, Leonard Ellerbe mentioned this earlier, and I've got it as the Lakers or the Warriors. So out west, who do you think is the bigger playoff threat?
Just out of anybody?
Yeah, like in terms of like an underdog. If an underdog is to make a run, because we'll do this in the East as well. If the underdog is to make a run, who's the bigger threat, the Lakers or the Warriors?
I would say the Lakers because, so I don't know if this was an April Fool's joke or not because I got this from an unreliable source. LeBron's still playing, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So this was another April Fool's joke.
Okay.
The dude was like, LeBron was caught speeding going like 130 and the Lakers. He said the Lakers benched him the rest of the season. I was like, damn,
LeBron could drive 175 into a bank, steal all the money on camera with a sign saying, I'm LeBron James, and the Lakers would be like, better be a shoot around tomorrow. Like what are we talking about? Do not look any sports news on April 1st. Do not believe it. I don't care if it comes from 75 sources. Until you see that mess on the 2nd, you do not. You hold it with a grain of salt. Do not go for it because the Redskins apparently traded for Lamar and gave him a 4-year deal on April Fool's. So. You don't trust any of that. For me, I'm still going to go with the Warriors just because, listen, if Andrew Wiggins comes back, I still think that they are going to be a tough out for anyone. I don't care who they play. This is where they get serious. So that's my take on that. In the East, George, who do you think, the Heat or the Nets? Who's going to be the bigger playoff threat?
The Heat. And it's just that's a straight up coaching nightmare. And I'm not talking about Eric Spoelstra. I'm talking about Udonis Haslem, baby. It's been in the league long enough, right? He's
more ride, baby. One more ride.
There's something magical about that team, and my God, do I hate when the Celtics have to play them. And I'm like, and you know how confident I am playing the Bucks. I've stated numerous times on the show, I'm fine with them. I'm fine also with the 76ers. But the Heat, to me, are the toughest out when the going gets tough, right? Very similar to Golden State and your point in the West. What about you, boss? What do you think between those two?
Man. That it's tough because the Heat have the pedigree. They've got, obviously, they got UD as a coach, a player coach. But they also, Jimmy Butler, they got Tyler Hero. He's got the comb over. He's looking smooth. They got Bam. They have a lot. They got Oladipo still, right? They still have Victor Oladipo.
Correct.
Yeah, if they want to play and they lock in, they're as good as anybody. They have pieces everywhere, so they could, listen, they should be able to do it. So
dude, they got Kyle Lowry too.
Still.
I didn't know they had him.
Oh yeah, they still have Kyle. Kyle didn't move in the trade deadline,
True.
So they still have Kyle too. So shout out to all these teams. The playoffs are upon us, both in the NBA, the NHL. We'll talk a little bit more about the NHL on Wednesday's episode. But I'm excited, and I just want to first and foremost thank each and every one of you guys for tuning in. For those of you that participated in the Jersey Jam, thank you again for all of the content, all the love. I hope you guys enjoyed kind of seeing some of the people that were participating in the Final Four. Be on the lookout for that again next year. We're going to keep doing that. We're going to keep growing this thing. And, thanks again to my special guest, Leonard Ellerbe. Sorry again that Ro was not able to be a part of of this interview. And I know she's going to be upset about that, but we sending love and soup to the front row from Josh Williams, George Carmona in the back.
Yes, sir.
Thank you guys again for tuning in to the American Fan 365. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and push it out to your people. See you guys next time.
Short for fanatic is the one who's screaming their lungs out in sub-zero degree temperatures, still believing when the chips are down, and never, ever giving up on their teams or their players. From the closest seat to the worst one, we want to meet you all. This is the American Fan.
Oof.